And it is time now for Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix on FM 93.5, the Burg, and WMBG AM 740. And today, at the end of the year, the last Thursday of the year, what a treat to have In Layman Terms here, minus their brilliant drummer. He was actually otherwise obligated, but we have Cole and Logan Layman, and the trumpet genius of a lifetime, Hamid Barbarji, is here. And you know what? I'm so happy to have the three of you here as my last Super Sound for 2018, because what a treat it is to hear your music and to get to spend the afternoon with you guys. Welcome.
We're so glad to be here too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how was Christmas? We're just a couple of days, well, yesterday was Christmas. How was Christmas?
It was very merry.
Very merry? Boy, that's original, Cole. Thanks.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Did you have a good holiday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really nice spending it with my family.
All three of these young artists have come back from college in their respective. Now, tell us just where you go to college. Logan, where are you?
So I go to Indiana University in Bloomington.
Yeah. And Hamid, you're in Richmond.
Yes, VCU.
Okay.
And I currently am local.
Okay, great. So all three studying and home for the holidays. How intense are your studies? Like, was Christmas break like the answer to a prayer, or you're anxious to get back? Where are you with this?
Well, you know, for brass players, December is like
You're busy.
so there's not really a break.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have it maybe in January. I'll have a small break,
Okay.
but December is pretty busy.
So there are no holidays. You just continue
No
as
holidays.
if you've been
Yeah.
studying the entire
Yeah.
time. Because, you know, that's a good point, actually, Hamid, because we rehearse and then we perform, and there really isn't much free time. And in fact, I've been counting down, you know, this last week, I've got 7 more performances, and then I'm done through New Year's, you know, but it's like, man, for the 6 weeks or so between Thanksgiving and New Year's, there really isn't much. And when you're trying to balance college on top of that.
Yeah. Especially when you're, you know, there's a dead period. At least for me, I found out that January tends to be, and some of February tend to be more of a dead period for gigs, because unless, you know, you're subbing with symphonies,
sure,
which I'm fortunate enough to be able to do.
Right.
There are not a lot of churches asking for trumpet players or things like that.
Yeah.
So,
but you know, every couple of years there'll be a surprise year where I think, you know, oh, it's going to be slow for January and February. Last year, the February was the busiest I've ever known in my whole life.
Sure.
And I don't know what happened. Every time I answered the phone, it was a job. So,
wow.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
I don't mind if it happens again. But anyway, now you are writing the success of a brand new album that came out just in November, right? Tell us about it, Logan. What's going on?
So we actually just wrote all of the songs besides Heartbroken on the album over the summer that we recorded it. Yeah, and so that was awesome.
Did you write that song, Fever?
No.
I didn't think so. So there's 2 songs that are not original.
Fever is the only cover on the album.
But you know, I can see it's an honest mistake because you make it your own. You really do.
You know?
You did such a marvelous job.
Thank you.
And I have to tell you, with your brother Cole, you know, on that guitar, and Hamid, your arrangements on some of this stuff, that I hear your influence, and you have really made the sound of In Layman Terms. Yeah. No, that wasn't quite what I was going to say. You filled it out in such a delightful way.
Well, thank you.
And I love the brass on your sound. I really do. But, you know, Cole and Logan have been fixtures on the local music scene for a long time. And what age, and I know I've asked you this before, but I don't remember, what age were you really out there performing?
About 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. But, you know, everybody is so familiar with In Layman Terms, and you've come such a long way. And this album is really a big step from the last one. Don't you think? Do you love it? And it was self-produced in this case, right?
Yes. This album definitely has a different, and we're proud in a different way of this album as opposed to the last one, which was Tangled. This one was very, like, I feel like we worked really, I'm not saying we didn't work hard for the other one, but this one, like, we wanted to make sure it was perfect.
Yeah. Well, you grow as an artist, and technology grows with you, and then a lot of times on the next time around, and even the next time from now, you'll be able to spend a little more money with the studio maybe, and have a little more support from the people that become familiar. So it's just a cumulative process that as you go forward as artists, you continue to evolve and to grow. So it's a natural thing. It doesn't imply that you didn't work hard on the first one.
Yeah.
And I believe we're, like, with the album, we're starting to find our sound. Like, we did find our sound.
Nice.
And because we used to play strictly blues, Cole and I did.
Right.
And now this new album, Strong Roots, is more a mixture of tons of different styles of music. And I feel like we've really grown as musicians. Like Hamid, being in our band, has grown in the blues world, and we have grown from him from classical and jazz training.
And I'm glad to hear all this, because you know what? You're not the kind of singer that should be limited to one little style. You really aren't. You have far more versatility and much more of a gift that you can bring across the board musically. So it's great.
I think we actually had a conversation with Bruce Hornsby over the phone, and one of the things he said was, be weird. Figure out your sound, find your sound, but
that certainly worked for him.
And I think that's one of the biggest things that we did on this album was kind of not only find our own sound, but we kind of explored.
Right.
We just explored more, and I don't think that was necessarily on the last album something you guys did. I wasn't on it, but.
How did that conversation come about? How did you end up on the phone with Bruce?
Goodness. We reached out to, I think we reached out to his wife. Yeah,
Kathy.
And she's so great. Kathy. And he was willing to sit, just have a nice conversation with us, and gave us a lot of great ideas.
Like what? You want to share some of them?
I think the biggest thing that we took away was finding our sound and exploring. Another thing that actually stuck with me, I'm not a vocalist, but
I heard you recently sang in Richmond, though.
It's
coming, isn't it?
I'm trying, but one of the things that stuck with me was that vocalists need to read a lot. And different types of books, different fiction, nonfiction, and try to get that vocabulary in their head, so you can create, metaphors and different kind of.
Well, the more well-rounded you are, the better you are on stage. But there's also the very idea that as a singer, you in particular are trying to interpret the human condition and the human emotions in a way that it will affect your audience. So really, the more experience you have in living through what people will resonate with the people, the better off you are as a performer.
Sure.
So absolutely, he's right on with that. Anything else?
Very good.
He's a nice guy.
He is such a nice guy, and I just think it's so cool that he actually listened to our music.
Of course. Well, that's fair enough. You listen to his.
Yeah.
Fair is fair.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a busy weekend coming up for you guys. It's going into New Year's Eve, but you have a couple of very important gigs. Let's talk about where people can see you.
All right. Absolutely. So you can see us at Kilmarnock Brewery on Friday from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m.
Okay. And if I don't choose to do that, I can see you where on Saturday, Cole?
On Saturday, you can see us at Burg Brewery from 5 to 8 o'clock.
Yeah, very cool. And then, Hamid, New Year's Eve is coming round.
You can see us at Sparkle Land in Merchant Square from 10 to 12:30. Well, 10 p.m. to 12:30 a.m.
And have y'all been in there? It's marvelous.
I have not.
It is the old spot where Ben's was, and in fact, I've made quite a name for myself this holiday season, because I think I've been there as much as anybody else. But they have had live music ever since the 16th of November, so it's been quite a cycle. And they originally were going to close on Christmas Eve. It was going to be the last day, and then they decided to open from the 27th through New Year's Eve. And you guys will be, in fact, the last band, but I'll be there that afternoon from 3 to 5 and every day this week. So, it's a marvelous entertainment venue, and they've got Santa's been in there, and they bring Liberty the dog in, and it's a place to taste wine and drink hot chocolate and get away from the cold outside, although it's like spring out there this week. I don't know quite what happened this Indian summer that we always have.
I love it.
But it'll be nice. And, if you're planning to attend Bobby Blackhat's Blues Celebration over at the Kimball, it's an ideal setup. Somebody really was on the ball to book you guys in there for New Year's Eve at 10 o'clock, because Bobby's show will be letting out. You can walk right from the Kimball right across the street to the old bin spot where Sparkle Land is, and you can have an absolute blast with a free concert from In Layman Terms. And, I predict, and, this is just my thought, I predict that free concerts and opportunities to hear you without a ticket are going to be very limited in the future as you go forward. So I say jump on this boat and go hear them while it's still an opportunity that you can not have to invest a lot of money to get in, because those big tickets are coming for you guys. You know that?
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So what kind of music did you bring us today? What are we going to do?
The first one we're going to do, first of all, we're going to do all originals today.
Nice.
We're going to start with one that Logan, we all wrote together called Notice Me.
Okay.
And, I mean, you could tell him a little bit about it.
Well, way to put me on the spot, Cole. So Notice Me is just about, like, not me in particular, but women dressing up and looking all nice for somebody who doesn't pay attention to them. And so that song is kind of like, well, you don't deserve me anyways, because I'm awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Well, and that's important for young ladies to have self-esteem like that and to have a certain self-awareness. So very nice. And then what? What else did you bring?
Then we're going to do a song called Ain't Gonna Fake It.
Okay.
And this song, actually, my mother wrote the lyrics to about her depression. And then we did our twist onto it. A lot like the song Fake It Till I Make It, which was on our last album. But this one's kind of like a sequel to that one.
Yeah.
And it's like the opposite.
That might be your gimmick if you have a song about faking it on each album.
Yeah.
You know, that could be a thing.
Yeah, we could do that.
And what's the third song we have today?
The third song we have is called Make Me Yours.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull out the resonator guitar for it. It's a more swampy feel to it.
Swampy. I like that. That's not an adjective I hear every day. Swampy. Usually it's Phil Roebuck that comes in here with that swampy stuff. I like it. All right. Well, we'll see what we've got. And we're going to go and we're going to have a couple of commercials here and let you hear from our sponsors. And then we will be back with a music performance from In Layman Terms. And you won't want to miss that. It is going to be off the chain, I'm quite sure. So we'll be right back. This is Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix on FM 93.5, The Burg, and WMBG AM 740. I'm your host, Robert Hodge. And this is Super Sound Showcase, sponsored by Culture Fix on FM 93.5, The Burg, and WMBG AM 740. I am your host, Robert Hodge, and today our guest is In Layman Terms, celebrating the very last Thursday of 2018 and looking forward to the upcoming new year. Logan, do you have New Year's resolutions coming into your head at this time of year? Do you have things you're set on for next year?
To be healthy.
Yeah? And what else?
To spend time with my family.
There you go. Well, it helps that you work with your brother, right?
Yeah.
That's off to a good start. All right. Well, we're going to talk more about that, but now it's time for the music segment of the show, and that's always my favorite part. So let's hear some great music from In Layman Terms.
I got these high heels
Wow, there is some serious technique going on in here. That's like studio quality fade out, like a real record, man. And that's a live sound. Not everybody can do that. Yeah, this is the ain't gonna fake it. So let's hear it.
Well, I'm shedding my coat of armor. When I'm cut, I'm gonna bleed. When I'm hurt, I'm gonna cry. 'Cause I'm taking care of my own needs. Oh. You're gonna know how I feel, and it may not be pretty. I'm done running from myself. I finally accepted me for me. I said I'm done running from myself. I'm finally taking care of my own needs. You're gonna know how I feel, and it may not be pretty. I said just because I'm done being Little Miss Sunshine doesn't mean that I won't still glitter. Ooh, you're gonna know how I feel. And it may not be pretty.
Very nice. Logan, I'm wondering, you're so good with these runs and the things that you do, and even in the a cappella spots where the band drops out, do you consider yourself to have perfect pitch? Is it in there? I mean,
no.
Do you work hard for this?
I do work hard. It's a lot of practice.
Because you're so good at it.
Thank
you stay
you.
right where you leave it, and those breaks, and you just never falters. I love that.
I think it's just come just because I've been playing music for 13 years of my life, which is a long time. I feel like it's kind of adapted over, like, just because I've been practicing for so long. But there are times where I'm sharp and flat,
right?
Which, like, it annoys the heck out of me. Oh my goodness, like my ears. If I hear something that's sharp or flat, it drives me crazy. But I don't think any singer has perfect pitch. You know, because nobody. I was
just wondering, because you're just so sharp on. Well, no pun intended. You're just so spot on with what I've heard you do here in the studio each time.
Thank you.
It's great. That was a nice song. I like it, and it has such an old blues feel to it. But it's a little sassy. I like it. And Hamid, you know what? The things that I've loved about your playing all along, all still there. But the thing that I see you growing in, there's much more soul and emotion coming through the expression on your face when you're playing now. You are actually beginning to interpret your music with a sensitivity that I don't think was really consistent before. It showed itself now and then, but right now you get so lost in what you do with your horn that it's quite amazing to watch.
Well, thank you.
It really is. Very nice. All right, so we have time for one more song, and that's a sad part to say, because I wish we could stay and play all day. This is so much fun, but this last song, let's wind it up with something really exciting, because I love this music. And don't forget, you can go and see In Layman Terms at the Kilmarnock Brewery on Friday. You can see them at Bill's Burg Brewery on Saturday, and at Sparkleland on New Year's Eve from 10 to 12:30. And I can't think of a better way to rock it in with In Layman Terms. And I think I'm probably going to show up for part of that at least, so I can see you guys on New Year's Eve. That would be a nice way to start the year. All right, let's hear it. Wow, wow, wow. Now that I have a couple of things to say about that. That was maybe the best example I've ever seen of musical organized chaos, in the sense that at one point there, y'all all three had something so different going on in your own little groove, and yet it was certainly fitting so beautifully together. I mean, that was almost a masterclass in how to make that kind of thing work, because not everybody could pull that off.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you so much. This
Very
is my
expressive.
favorite song on the album.
Very,
Just for that,
very
the
nice.
solo section. Hamid suggested that idea. He was like, "Let's do something crazy." We were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
That's
But
good.
Hamid in the studio was like, "Let's do something crazy," and so we, in the version on CD, Nick goes into a jungle beat on the drums, and Hamid and all of us, we start playing a bunch of stuff.
Right. Well, it's amazing. Where does some of those unusual sounds come from? You're making that trumpet sound like other things entirely.
Wynton Marsalis.
Oh, okay. That's where credit's due. But that's amazing. Do some of your teachers at VCU just kind of raise an eyebrow once in a while when you pull that stuff off? Because they don't expect it, I bet. No more than I did.
I don't know. Maybe.
Wow.
I don't think I get.
It's beautiful.
I don't get to play a lot of blues at school,
Uh-huh.
and I don't think growling on the Haydn trumpet concerto would really.
It might surprise them. It might. And who's to say Haydn didn't imagine it that way? Nobody can prove he didn't. So, anyway, this has been a wonderful Super Sound Showcase. It's been a wonderful afternoon, and I thank you guys for being here. I know it's a busy time of the year for all of us, but honestly, the fact that you made time to come and spend the end of the year with me is a wonderful thing, and thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
So, in layman terms, it is Logan Layman, it is Cole Layman, and it is Hamid Barbarji. And I'll tell you what, you guys are all extraordinary musicians, and I'm so proud to be friends with you guys, and I appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much.
My
You're the
thanks to
best.
Culture Fix. I really appreciate the sponsorship of the show. And as we come to the end of another year, I thank all of our friends over there, Steve and Jen and Shirley. And to my listeners, wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I thank you for your listenership. And I hope that we'll be able to count on you each week as we go into 2019 with all kinds of great new music and new artists. It is a pleasure to be part of your lives. Thank you so much.